So I'm going to tell you about ACP, American Corporate Partners. Our program is a one-of-a-kind opportunity where you're going to have the opportunity to have somebody from one of these logos in front of you work with you for an entire year. And get this, there's no cost. So tonight I'm going to tell you about how we got started, where we are today, and then I'm going to show you how easy it is to get signed up. Now listen, I don't know how many people have signed in so far, but you're nuts not to take advantage of this program. And when you hear it, you'll understand. We were founded by an old banker who happened to be walking into the World Trade Center when the second plane flew over his head. And like everybody else in America, was extremely affected by the events of that day. Other than running off and joining the Marines like myself, he started thinking how he was going to give back. One of the most successful bankers, he and his wife were both, his wife was a partner at Goldman Sachs. He was a #1 banker at Merrill Lynch. You remember the surge in Iraq, as I'm sure many of you even served back in 2007 and 8, 20,000 men and women heading off to war. Sid Goodfriend, our founder, couldn't get it out of his head. What were they all going to do when they came back? And one thing he knew for sure was that if you could serve this nation, when you came back, you should get a great job. And he knew every great job he ever got, somebody opened a door for. So he reached out to his friend, Indra Nooyi. She was the chairman of Pepsi at the time, told her he had came up with this idea to get transitioning veterans as they come out of the military and connect them with corporate America. Told her his idea of having mentors. And Indra said, I'm in. And they provided the first mentors from Pepsi. And today, as you can see, we have 100 of the most iconic global brands in the world. So no matter whether you want to go into manufacturing, you want to go into technology, you want to go into consulting, hell, if you want to be the next groundskeeper at Yankee Stadium, I can find you somebody from Major League Baseball to work with you for an entire year. Each one of these companies gives us a minimum of 50 mentors, all the way up to over 200 that UBS gives us. And remember, I know so many of you are in school right now and taking courses for technology. Well, we have IBM, we have Cisco, we have Emerson, and they all are big electronics and technology companies. But look, every single one of these companies gives us tech mentors, right? So you think about UPS. You know, I have 75 UPS mentors. I don't think I have a single guy in a brown uniform who drives a truck as a mentor. We have everything from fleet to maintenance to logistics to technology to cybersecurity, you name it. And that's what the mentors are going to do. And not only are the mentors from our corporate partners, but we have over 800 citizens mentors who might be small business owners, retired educators, cops, firemen, hell, I even have a couple of astronauts in the program. So no matter what career path you can think of, we're going to get you somebody who's going to work with you for an entire year. Somebody who's dedicated just to you for a one-on-one customized experience, right? Each one of you are going to come to us and say, hey, look, you might say, hey, I was in the Army, I'm a woman, I want a veteran who's a woman in technology to be my mentor, or so on and so forth. Or you could say, I could care less. This is what I'm looking to go into. This is what I want. And, you know, they don't have to be in California. They could be in Memphis, Tennessee, as long as they can help guide me. We just went over 20,000 alumni, and it's 20,000 people who told us they found meaningful employment as a result of this program. Right? I can't imagine many of you want to be baristas out there. You got great skills. You're looking to go out, you know, you're not looking for entry-level jobs, which is what might be available. You're looking for a great job, and you wouldn't be putting yourself through school and so on and so forth, not to take advantage of what that will mean to you. 98% of the veterans who went through this program would recommend another veteran. And here's what they worked on. 68%, almost 70% of them were working on resume and interview skills. Look, the people who are already doing these jobs, and our average mentor has 6, 8, 10 years experience in the career path that you want to go into. So they know exactly what it takes to get a job at IBM and so on and so forth, right? But They also know that if you show up with a 5-page resume that talks about your unit citations and so on and so forth, you're dead, because your average hiring manager, get this, I'm going to give you 2 stats. If you have a pencil, jot this down. First off, 85% of all jobs received in America last year were by direct referral, right? That's what your mentor is going to be for you. That's a person that's got all this background and experience in these companies who are going to be opening doors for you. The other one is that your average hiring manager has 6 to 8 seconds to look at your resume. 6 to 8 seconds. So that sucker better pop out at them. And it better have the words that they can understand. And one of the biggest things, as you can see, over 60% of our men and women come to us. They need help translating what those skills in the military look like in a career in corporate America. Take my own experience. Look, I was the mine detector repairman in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. Trust me, nobody was looking for a mine detector repairman in Lower Manhattan when I got out of the Marines. And I probably was on 20 interviews I had no business being on, right? I had great technology skills, but I didn't know what that meant in corporate America. That's what you're going to have in a mentor. That's somebody who's going to be translating those skills, opening doors, getting you prepped and ready for the interview, not only making the referral, but making sure that you get that job. But look, not everybody who come to us is even looking for a job. In fact, almost 25%, as you see the stat on the bottom, was looking to advance at the job they're already in. Look, like I say, nobody signs up to be the mine detector repairman, trust me. And so, you wind up going after, you're learning a job that doesn't translate, but what else are you going to look for? You might have been in healthcare in the military, but always wanted to go into tech. That's where your mentor is going to be able to help you and help you translate those skills so that you can be in the right job and a great job. Now, get this. I'm going to show you some crazy stats. And I'd love to say it's me and my colleague Jessica, who's on here. And if you have any questions, you want to throw them in the chat. But trust me, there'll be plenty of time for questions at the end. But here's the deal. As I said, almost 20,000 men and women have gone through this program in less than 10 years and said it's changed their life. 2,700 just last year alone. And of them, over 70% found meaningful employment as a result of their mentorship, either from their mentor's company, the work they did with their mentor, or from somewhere in their network. And look, we're lined up as a community service program. Like I said, it's never going to cost you a dime. We were founded by a couple of very successful people, and our companies support us. But the key here is that, look at that salary, $86,000. $86,000 was our national average for starting salary nationwide. First job out of the military. The nationwide average last year was 44 grand. So I don't care if you're in Oceanside or you're in Memphis, Tennessee, or Brooklyn, New York. You can't survive on 40 grand. Never mind if you have a spouse and a couple of kids. 86 grand, you can. And like I was saying, we have over 100 companies. And I'd love to say they're all doing this out of the goodness of their heart. Because like I was saying, we're a community service program. But the fact of the matter is this is an incredible way for them to identify talent. Nobody's going to know who fits Cisco better than a Cisco employee or IBM or any one of our companies for that matter, right? I mean, their own people know. And that's why they see this as a great opportunity to, one, have a community service program, but identify talent. And your mentors are going to open those doors for you. So, as I said, 630 companies hired our veterans last year. And get this. Here's another thing. First of all, our whole mission is that you wind up with meaningful employment. And look, you're going to a great school, right? You already have great people like John and Kirsten in your life who are trying to help guide you so that when you get done with school, you get a great job. I'm going to give you somebody who's dedicated only to you in the career path of your choice for an entire year, and it's an hour a month. It's pretty much virtual, right? We were virtual before COVID, so it's Skype, FaceTime, over a cup of coffee on a Saturday morning. Like I say, working on your resume, interview skills, opening doors. so that you wind up in a great job. And here's the thing. This is an old stat. 2016, there were a hell of a lot of jobs out there for veterans. Today, it's a different world. But even then, almost 50% of the veterans leave the first job they get out of the military within the first 8 months. And I get it. You're unemployed day one. You're going to take whatever you can get. I took whatever I could get. And I was lucky. I wound up in the right place, right? But here's the thing. I wound up at the New York Stock Exchange back in '85 because the guy who ran technology there was a former Marine. And he felt that if I could survive Paris Island, he could train me. And he was right. They had a great training program. Sure as hell, my technology experience fit right in. That's not where my problem started. All of a sudden, months 6, 7, and 8, I'm working with folks who had Wharton degrees and Princeton degrees and whose great-great-grandfather came off the Mayflower. I was like, holy smoke, you know what? I don't fit in here. Get me a uniform and get me a weapon and get me back in the military, or maybe I should be a cop or a fireman. Because the cultural part of getting into corporate America can be just as challenging as getting the job. But look at this. 86% of that over 70% that I showed you got meaningful employment as a result of this program. 86% of them was still in those jobs a year later. And that just goes to show the importance of having a mentor, because like I said, months 7, 8, and 9, now you have somebody over a cup of coffee on a Saturday morning that you can say, hey, look, I don't get along with my supervisor. I used to know exactly what my first sergeant wanted. I don't know what everybody thinks outside the box. All my great colleagues were in the military. We used to do everything. Boom, boom, boom. It's a different world. But your mentor has already made those mistakes for you. And so they're going to be there so that when you go to work on Monday morning, you're not going to have to leave that job, because you're going to have the skill to be able to work with that supervisor or those colleagues and so on and so forth. And now those great communication skills that you learned in the military, you're going to put them to work and you're going to excel where you are. Folks, listen, I joined this program about 4 years ago, full time. It's been 4 of the most rewarding years of my life because I get to hear from everything from E3s. I paired a 3-star general yesterday. 3-star general, right? You know what he and the E3 have in common? Neither one ever worked a day in corporate America. And that is so important, folks, to have somebody who has. Somebody who's guiding the entire process and opening doors. So anyway, who's eligible? All you have had to do is serve 180 days post 9/11 and you're eligible for this program. The other thing is active duty military spouses. We only opened up our program about a year ago to spouses, so it's active duty spouses that can come into our program. And you want to talk about the underserved in the military, it's certainly your spouse. And so there's so many different things that they're up against. But it is a simple process. And that's where I'm going to show you now. Look, I don't even know how many people are on this call right now, but every one of you is on a computer. So I want you to go to acp-usa.org. Now, a year ago, pre-COVID, I used to do this and say, when you get home tonight, you should consider this. Today, like I said earlier, you're nuts not to take advantage of this. No matter when you're getting out into the workforce. I don't care if you still have another year, 2 years left of school, to make sure that you're getting lined up for the right careers, because careers, especially in technology, are changing all the time. And nobody's going to know better than those folks who are already doing those jobs, where the great jobs are coming down the pipe. So having a mentor who's guiding that process, dedicated to you. Listen, 85% of our mentors never served in the military. So they're just seeing this as a great way. It's a total volunteer. Over 4,000 men and women are currently going through the program as we speak. So this is an opportunity to have, I always tell everybody, I'm giving you a rich uncle. I mean, how can you go wrong? We all wished we had somebody who could help open doors and guide the path. This is how you do it. acp-usa.org. And now I'm going to tell you about the real magic of ACP. I know I'm starting to sound like a used car salesman. I know I'm selling Ginsu knives, but no. I'm about to tell you that not only are you going to get a mentor from one of these Fortune 500 companies, and most of them are senior leaders across their companies, who are going to work with you for a year, but you're also going to get a staff person, somebody like Jessica from ACP, who's assigned to you for the whole year also. Because a lot of you might say, hey, look, I went in the military and I did this in the military, and now I'm heading down this road, getting certifications and getting schooling and so on and so forth. But I really don't know exactly what I want to do. That's where our staff is going to jump in and make sure that you wind up having goals and having the ability to find out exactly what you want to do. Apply now. Military and veterans, active duty spouses. Listen, it is a simple application. Don't worry. The only most important thing, make sure you put CIAT in the referral spot so I know where you came from. And then I can work with the team, make sure that they know that you're working towards finding a great job. Other than that, your name, a little bit of your background, don't get in depth on, you don't have to worry about getting in depth on your military experience, because within a day of you hitting send on that application, somebody from ACP is going to reach out to you. They're going to set up a call at your leisure, 10, 15 minutes, to get all that information and really get an understanding of what you're looking for. And then look, folks, this ain't Match.com. We spend a lot of time and effort making sure that you get it. And look, nothing's perfect, but it's very important for us. And it might sound a little selfish here, but we only ask our mentors to do this for a year. This is only a 1-year commitment from those companies. And they come back year after year after year. In fact, 99%, get this, 99% of our mentors said that they were glad that their company participated and they want to do it again. But anyway, right? We need those mentors to have as good an experience as you. So we make sure that we pair you guys up as close as possible. We'll pitch you the mentor. We'll say, hey, look, this is Jane Smith. She's in XYZ area of the country. This is what she does in technology. This is what she does in the arts, you name it. Whatever you're going and you're looking for in a career, you have the opportunity to say, yeah, that sounds terrific. That's somebody I want to work with. Or, you know what, I'm really thinking blah, blah, blah. Don't worry about it. That's what we want you to do. We want you to have we're our only metric. Like I said, we're blessed to have a pretty great background, and I'm not out banging doors to try to raise money for this. Our companies support this whole thing. Our only metric is that you wind up with a meaningful experience. And that means different things to different people, but we want you to get a great job. You deserve it. Networking. Now look, if you haven't heard it yet, you should have a LinkedIn account. If you don't have one, get one. Make sure you pair up with me on LinkedIn. Connect today. Tim Cochran, right? You could also connect with Lucy Piper. She runs our women's and spouses program here at ACP. She's incredible. She actually is out on maternity leave currently, but I'm sure she'll be glad to connect with you on LinkedIn. But look, as you're transitioning out, as you're coming out of the military and you're getting ready to go into a great career, you need to build like a little board of directors, 3 or 4 people, right? You can get them on LinkedIn, start reaching out and building those folks that you can bounce ideas off of. ACP, I'm going to give you that chairman of your board. I'm going to give you that person dedicated to you to make sure that you're successful and open doors for you so you wind up in a great job. Look, and I don't know where we are for time, but I'm going to tell you what's going on right now. Here's what I see day in and day out. I literally talk to CEOs every day. And it's scary, right? Unemployment, unprecedented. It's so hard to get in front of a hiring manager who may have never served in the military and doesn't know even what the heck you bring to the table. But look, companies want you. But all this unemployment, who's going to get jobs first? You know who's going to get jobs first? The people those companies didn't want to let go in the first place. So people are starting to get hired back, but they're going to go after the people they didn't want to let go. The second group of people who are going to get jobs are going to be those with translatable skills. Somebody who was working on manufacturing at IBM and now Cisco's hiring, boom, they can hire them. They go right in, plug and play, and away they go. The next person who's going to get a job is going to be the person who's coming right out of school with no skills, no background, who will come really cheap and they can train them right away. That puts veterans in 4th place, but you have a phenomenal foundation. You know how to work, you know how to complete tasks, you know how to show up on time, you know how to, work in chaotic environments. And look at you. You're in school and you're taking advantage of school, or you may even already be out and you're still looking, or you wound up underemployed and you're looking for that jump. Get a mentor. I'm telling you, it'll be the best thing you give yourself, and there's no cost. So take advantage of this opportunity to work with somebody who's just looking to help you. That's all it is. It's a great thing, folks.